Where are the fucking waypoints?
Welcome to Firebreak Manor, traveler.
I'm here about the incident. Donan gave me permission to look around.
Incident.
That was all he said.
I must be referring to his study. Something unsettling transpired there.
I must wait a moment.
Not like there's supposed to be a waypoint back here. There's like 8 in this whole zone. The meat curtains.
No. It can't be. I know who you are.
And I know you, Donan. Old, tired, each day a struggle to live up to your own legacy.
What do you want with me?
Astaroth.
He's dead.
Astaroth cannot die. Not by your hand. What have you done with him?
Away, demon. I deny you.
You have grown so frail. I can make you the hero you were.
Return to the darkness from whence you came. I said away!
Yeah, I was.
A signal horn.
That's why there's no waypoints.
Ready yet. I need more spirit.
The blood clan.
I'm low on spirit. I must wait a moment. I'm out of spirit. I must wait a moment. I need more spirit. I'm low on spirit. I'm not ready yet.
The lads.
Goat men. They've never dared come so close to
The
the
goat
estate
men.
before.
Perhaps they were drawn by Lilith's presence. I saw a vision of her in your study.
What do you mean, a vision?
I don't fully understand how, but it isn't the first time.
Full of surprises, aren't you? No wonder you caught Lorath's attention. Well, now you understand my predicament. The daughter of hatred in my own home. She must be furious I cast her out.
That painting on your wall. Who are the others in it?
Why do you ask?
Lilith seemed to leave after seeing them.
Nafane and Arida. The druids who helped me slay Astaroth. Yes. Yes, I think you're onto something. I resisted her, so she might question them about the demon next. There are knights stationed
I like
in
these
villages
knights.
near
They
the
look cool.
druids. If Lilith passed through, they must have seen her.
Now there's a waypoint.
The attack on the manor has left many wounded, and our healing supplies are almost exhausted. Please, could you travel to Kedegar and ask Corman the alchemist to send anything he can? And tell him to hurry. Every moment is vital.
I guess. Think about it, man. Yeah, I think instead of trying to be like really methodical and exhaustive about everything, I'm just gonna kind of just go as I feel. I mean, obviously I want to beeline it to like stat-based shit. We're just gonna roll, man. Okay. More spirit. Getting up to 9% more stats there would be nice.
I'm not ready yet.
Elder Moss. Like 9% more damage reduction. Wouldn't be too shabby. We got like snakes.
I must wait a moment. I do not have enough spirit. I'm not ready yet. I must wait a moment.
That shit's really strong, man. Poison's insane.
By the light. I miss Eldheim. We slept in a proper barracks. Here, we share with the livestock.
Who fucking who, man? Wrong with the
The
livestock?
Depths is my home, but Sanctuary is dangerous these days. And my parents, my poor old parents, are getting on in age. Who will protect their home? I would go check on them, but the roads are perilous. Perhaps you could go to my father, feel him, and see if they need me.
Mm-hmm. Can't go yourself, brother.
Follow the stars, Ken. The finest cuts and clarity.
116,000. Yeah, I should sell more gear.
Fine indeed.
There is power in these stones.
It does cost to unsock it. You can add a socket. Pretty
The way
pricey.
envious, my friend. Stars guide you.
It's pretty good, man. You have fortify your earth skills gain 2 ranks. Jesus. Yeah, some of those are pretty good, man. No, earth would be actual like earth spells. There are earth specific spells. Damaging an elite grants you a barrier. Seems cool. Basic skills grant 20% damage reduction for 2 seconds. Wouldn't you just take 20% less damage then, straight out? This is good if you do, if you're really fast, probably. But for werewolves. Yeah. Well, they did say your basic skill, so you could probably your auto attack.
Smell that?
You can just keep spamming it, I imagine.
Turmeric, ginger, saffron.
Poor man must have his hands full tending to so many wounded.
A
pack up everything
Yeah.
I can spare.
This
and
one
send
feels
off
like
to
it
him
does, but
immediately.
we'll see.
It's simple. Buy armor, live longer.
Buying shit actually decent in this. Be hard to believe. The Bradless? I think I'm supposed to be able to look through this. Okay. Whatever, dude.
Oh, can't complain. Reckon that be a sin against the father. Oi, I'll have none of that talking here, you get me? Folk are skittish enough as it is. Well enough, so long as Donan speaks for them. He knows the Glen, and bled for it too. Cathedral's lucky to have him. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I think I'm supposed to be able to see through this roof.
So strong. What
Oh
is
well.
this drink?
It's just Glenbeer, love. Our children.
What is a Legion event? You guys want to go find out? Some online stuff. It's going. So much for that. Who is Tribeca anyways? What is Tribeca? We've watched some of their conferences before, but I don't remember. Is it like a news group or is it like a developer conference? Publisher? I like the dark, rainy atmosphere. I could just hear the rain a little louder. I turn it up a bit. Problem is the ass kicking noises are really loud. Even with like half volume.
Not ready yet. I'm low on spirit. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I must wait a minute. I'm low on spirit. I must wait a moment.
Daughter of hatred, take you!
I must wait a moment.
Oh, the eyes.
I'm not ready yet.
Where are the other online people?
I'm low on spirit.
All alone out here. At least you cancel them.
I must wait a moment.
I'm sure people would play it, unless I'm like not in a server or something. Or the servers are fucked. Apparently they've not been great.
I need more spirit.
I didn't even check what server you're on. Oh, here's some local players. Oh well. Okay, I should check the new loot. Oh.
Not ready yet.
We got the drums. Now we're talking. Jesus, his body went flying. Love it. I can compare two different slots. Oh, they're like the same fucking ring. No wonder. I found so few of the Lilith things. So I'm playing different than I normally would. I'm just kind of like just hitting up objectives occasionally, but not like trying to comb the map perfectly. A lot of that's because you can't get into tier 3 until you finish the campaign, so there's kind of an incentive to like just get through it. Because you get more XP and better loot in tier 3 anyways. And everything scales. So it's kind of like, if you do everything on the low tiers, you're just kind of like
Wait a moment.
unnecessarily going through content without like better rewards. In a way. Like, it's totally fine to do up until the point where you're like not able to go into tier 3. And then at that point you should be like rushing to get tier 3 to get the most out of your time. It's 100% more XP too. On tier 2, which is the max I can do right now, it's like 5%. So like, I'm going for a story, but I'm willing to do side stuff as well. But I'm not like trying to do it all before I move on or something.
Not ready yet.
That's one strength of the scaling, I suppose. Is I can just kind of go wherever the fuck. Doesn't really matter. I don't have to like do the low level quests or something, right? That one's good. We're looking for runic tablets.
I must wait a moment. ready yet.
I have it turned on crossplay too, so I should be hitting up every single person. I guess they don't want it to be too crazy, is what I imagine it is.
I'm not ready yet.
Not too much online, but a little bit.
I must wait a moment. I'm not ready yet.
So from wildlife, does a wild wood count as wildlife? Yes.
I must wait a moment.
Wide notice. Extra wide.
I must wait a moment. I must wait a moment. I'm not ready yet.
Ooh. Rare.
I'm not ready yet.
Ooh. Better ring. It's got a slot in it. Jewelry, cold resist, fire resist. I think diamonds had something neat, or skulls had something neat for jewelry.
I must wait a moment. I'm not ready yet. I must wait a moment.
Oh, injured counts as less than 35%. Okay. That's good to know. I knew healthy was over 80%, but... Because there's certain abilities I mentioned, you get something when you're injured, and I just thought that meant anything less than 100%. Just tired?
I must wait a moment.
Is it all that smoke? That'll put you to sleep for sure. That's been me today. That's why I had to go out. Sometimes just going out gives me a little bit more energy, and obviously I gotta get some caffeine or something. Always helps. What have you been doing instead? Working on one of your many games, or just roasting?
I need more spirit.
I still have stuff I never hung up or unpacked, and I moved in here like 2 years ago.
I must wait a moment. I'm not ready yet.
Did you zone out? Did you zone out all day? Or you just zoned out right now? Level up. Oh, okay. I didn't know my mic was fucked. I was just wondering what you're up to if you weren't working on your model. Excuse me.
I'm not ready yet.
Ancient woods. Let's go back to town and turn this in. It can be hard to find the motivation sometimes. Especially if it's not fun stuff, just small shit.
Oh, goodness. You found one of them. Mistress Brega's works. I thought them lost during the attack. She was quite the scholar, you know. Thank you, kind wanderer. Little remains of her legacy. But these will surely countenance the good this family has contributed to Scosglen.
Two veiled crystals. Really, there's a warp in the fucking, like, actual town, too, man.
Thank you. There are many lessons, prayers, and seeds of wisdom that have been passed down from Fiacla Ger himself contained within. Life is an endless lesson. There is so much left to learn.
Sure. You say so, pal.
Spare some kindness for an old soldier?
I already spared some kindness, brother.
Light's blessing.
You don't get
If you
to.
have needs, checking with the watchtower.
Show your teeth.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm not seeing anything here. You think there would be one, but no. I've only found 3 of these fucking altar of Lilith. There's quite a few, so. Maybe looking a little harder. Oh, we could get shit done and kill the shroud.
You there. I need to talk to you.
Yeah, they do just kind of keep adding more quests occasionally.
Our mutual friend needs your help, but we must be cautious. Here, she wanted me to give you this letter.
Dear friend, I do not know how much longer my shaking hand will hold a quill, so I shall be brief. I believe the demon we thought we slew in the sewers was able to escape death by using me as its next.
Oh. Oh, that's all she said. Yeah, I just looked at it, that's all she said. I was like, what? Yep. Yeah, if you guys want to talk about it at all, yeah, it's free reign for sure. Didn't talk a whole lot about it after that chunk at the end of the VOD yesterday because it was all news shit, so. But I'm always down, yeah.
Be wary on the road.
I don't know if I want to salvage all this. Yeah, I appreciate you watching though. It's definitely better than Breath of the Wild's ending. Absolutely. Mechanically, it was like harmless. And it's way too easy to just bust that game, so it doesn't feel very tight. Or at least the other bosses you kind of like are forced to do some mechanics. But that very end part, the last third phase, yeah, it looked cool. But my thing with that is you already did Colgera, and he was kind of cooler. Because you actually had to like dive through him and shoot him, and he was like trying to actually get you and hit you with tornadoes and stuff. Or Ganon's kind of just like... he's just kind of shooting some shit off. It's a cool set piece. There's a few too many press X to win moments and stuff, but it's not bad. It's way better than Breath of the Wilds, but it's not an amazing sequence. I mean, it's definitely the farthest. It's not the worst problem the game has, so it was fine. Yeah. Well, the problem is just like bows are just too strong. Bows and fusion is just too fucking good. I mean, even if you don't do it, it's really powerful. Yeah, that game had too much like having to force yourself to not do shit. Just didn't feel as tight as the first one. I never had to force myself to do shit in the first one.
Anything breaks, the forge is hot.
Found a new boil in my tan that makes 17 so far.
Keep walking before I... Oh, it's you. Thank goodness. The sister is in the cellar. Come quickly. And thank you for trying to save my poor Vasek. I know you tried your best.
Yeah. I think my biggest problem with the Ganon in that game is they tried a little too hard trying to make him seem like cool and evil, but it ended up kind of being a little cheesy. Like, you only see him a few times, he's barely a part of it. And when he is there, it's always this like really generic anime kind of shit where he's like, "Oh, you must not know about me, let me show you a vision of how evil I am." Like, "Oh, interesting, somehow you escaped my master plan." And then he's like doing a lot of smirking at you and poses and shit in this Queen Sonya killing thing, and it's just like, he did cool stuff in like Ocarina of Time and like Twilight Princess, but it felt more like he just was cool, right? It didn't feel really forced. Like, he's on the organ and shit in Ocarina of Time, and it's just kind of cool because there's atmosphere and everything, and he's just kind of like an asshole, right? I feel like they tried too hard with this one, and I you know, Matt Mercer's cool, but I wasn't feeling the voice, man. I just didn't have a deep enough voice for me. It just didn't have that. It just didn't have the. I mean, the script is fucking horrible, so I mean, there's not much he could do, but it just didn't have that. Didn't have like a charisma or anything. No, I would say it's my least favorite Ganon out of the 3Ds. I mean, the 2Ds are barely there. Like, Wind Waker is probably my favorite Ganondorf. I probably... Ocarina of Time, he's barely there, but when he is there, he's cool. Twilight Princess, he's really cool, but he's kind of an asshole. But his fight's really good in Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time. His fight's good in Wind Waker too. More the end of it than the actual fight. But the puppet Ganon part's really good. Yeah, his human form when he's not demon mode looks good now. But yeah, the character just... I mean, I didn't feel much about any character though. There was not much charisma or fun in the main character. Some of the side character writing was fine. I liked the little... They still are really good at making fun little, like, expressive noises and animations, like with the Monster Part brothers and shit. I don't think the density of NPCs that are fun are as good as the old games. You'd get a cool new fun NPC, like, everywhere you went, right? Where in this one, it's like, I mean, there's a lot of generics and shit, but, you know, they had the Pelican guy, he was cool. But man, the main stuff, I don't know, I didn't like anybody, man. Riju was like the only person I could kind of handle, and that's because she was like, tried to be more serious. But even then, they gave her that really over-the-top, goofy, I'm the sage now cutscene, and it's just bad, man. They reference Cass after you do the Pelican quest line, and he goes to the same location Cass went for inspiration, but I don't think you see him. Yeah, that was one thing I didn't like about the story as well. They try way too hard to act like the first game didn't exist, to either make it accessible or to make the first one still worth playing. And it just comes across as sloppy. I just thought it was really sloppy. I don't know about you guys. Like, that Link doesn't remember what Kakariko Village is, shit like that. That they just don't even mention what happened. You don't even hear the word Calamity except in the school area. And it's just like, they could have like woven that into the writing much better. It makes the game feel like the changes that have happened aren't really that real, because like the past never even happened hardly. Where are the divine beasts? You know, just like, you don't have to, you know, pave over every plot hole, but like the massive sinkholes, like, yeah. It just gives the world a little bit less consistency and and believability when it's like these really transparent gaming reasons that they just kind of like gloss over stuff. And but I'm supposed to care about the changes in the world? Come on, you know? Yeah, there's like no guardian. There's not even just like one little guardian just to fuck around or something, right? Or one like Sheikah, you know, broken down Sheikah place. It's just like, come on, man. Like, it feels less like it's a changed world and more like they just really wanted to reuse the map and put a new game in it. And I'm like, no, dude.
I knew you would. Don't
Poltergeist.
have much time. You need to perform blood rites.
Yeah.
Exorcise. Demon. What? I cannot. You need my prayer book, but Chalice is lost. Need to get new one.
Where?
Margrave. Matvey. He is Chalice keeper. Be wary. He is suspicious. You may need to deceive. Please. Hurry.
But yeah. I mean, overall, it's like I liked it. But it just doesn't have as cohesive of a vision for me, and there's way too many like sloppy little things like that. The sage power, stuff like that, it just doesn't have that. I feel like that, I don't know if there's a clear enough, strong enough feeling I get from it. You know, like I did with the first one with adventure and all that. That can make me ignore all of the faults this one had. In the first one, I was willing to gloss over the faults, right? Because that strong feeling of adventure, that core, just tight vision they had, was really good. I really liked it. In this one, it's like, technically that's all still there in a way. I mean, the story's more linear and fucked if you do it out of order. They railroad you to powers a lot more. Even some side quest chains don't start until you go to certain areas. But it doesn't have as that clear adventure feel because when you're reusing a map, they show you where all the shrines are easily. They show you where all the caves are. It's more content focused. And I'm like, it just doesn't have as clear of a vision for me, which wouldn't be as big a deal if they'd went a little harder on filling the world with content. Like if they were like, okay, hey, you know, this one's not as adventure-y, you know, that freedom feel, it's more about what we filled the world with. Would be fine if like they just put more significant stuff. It's still just like micro shrine shit. And I'm like, the micro content's good, but it does get a little old. It's the same old after 20 hours. I'm like, I was expecting like, you know, one, the shrines to be, the temples to be better, but like there's still only like 4 temples, kind of 5. Like Jesus, the first game had 4 dungeons too, and Hyrule Castle was actually novel in that one, right? Not just a shitty fucking half-assed Zelda warps around 5 times in the dungeon thing this one was. I don't even count that as a dungeon. I don't count Phantom Ganon as a fucking real boss. It's just like on paper it's better, like if you've never played it, just because the novelty of the map would be there, along with much better powers, more solid shrines and temples. But if you have played it, the first one, I feel like that missing, you know, novelty of a new map and how that feeds into an adventure and a tight vision, the rest can't make up for it. I just don't think the rest was like godly enough. I still think it's good. I still think it's fun, but like, yeah, it definitely was a little fucked. What a conversation to walk in on. No, we didn't get to talk about it during the game news yesterday. I mean, we got 20 minutes till the next game news thing, but should chime in. Notable downgrade from the first game. Yeah, I mean, in some ways I think, yeah, probably. I don't think it's like a, like, you know, Breath of the Wild's good and this was shit. But it was a bit of a step down for me. I'm also done with the formula. Not done with it. I'd play another one if they really cranked up the solid content and the map, like a new map and stuff, but Jesus, dude. After 2 different 200-hour playthroughs, I think, unless they really polish those edges that they did not polish in this one, I'd rather just see a different formula.
I must wait a moment.
But this stuff, I mean, I still did play it for like 200 hours. I mean, I still had fun with it. I mean, the thing is, like, they had a lot of ways to do that. I mean, the thing is, like, weapon fusing for me ended up kind of just feeling like it was just about stats. I liked what it did for bow and arrows. I liked what Rewind did for combat sometimes. The thing is, the Sage powers could have done really cool stuff for combat. They have, you know, the ability for you to unlock actual moves, too, from the ego. There's, like, one move you can get, and the thing is, the Sages were implemented so horribly that you really just don't even use them for combat. I don't think the combat was my biggest problem. I know a lot of people do have a problem with the combat. I can get over that. For me, it's like enemy variety and stuff would probably matter more in combat, and making sure there's still really solid emergent gameplay shit, which there was in this, but you know, I wish like the vehicles and all that could have been more usable for combat and stuff to mix it up. But for me, it's more the content. The only time I ever felt like a surprise, outside maybe the first time I went, you know, outside the first 20 hours of the game, right, where you see the depths, you see the sky, you're testing out all your new powers. The only time after that I felt a really strong, like, whoa, that was really interesting, was when I found the Spirit Temple starting area early. I feel like the game should have been full of more of that kind of stuff. I mean, why else are you reusing the map if not to make really cool, more significant content? Like, if you're just gonna fill it with, like, shrines again, well then why not just make a new map? Because that's what you did the first time you made the fucking map, right? Like, where did all the 6 years go? Was it just the powers? They're cool, but I don't think they foster enough creativity when it comes to the vehicle building. And like, fusing's neat, but it's mainly just cool for arrows. Otherwise, like, there's 2 really good abilities and the rest are fine. I don't think they like carry a 200-hour playthrough. And you could say, oh, the Depths is a new map. The Depths is made to be like 20% of your playthrough. It's cool, but there's nothing really significant down there. It's just got neat biomes and it's an addicting, fun little thing to do on the side as a break. It's not on the same level. Yeah, I don't mind the combat a third time. Zelda combat's always been simple. The thing about Zelda combat, though, in the other games is always kind of just a piece of the pie. And you could say that's the same in this, but there's a lot more combat in this. There's a lot more monster camps, and I ignore a lot of them. For an old Zelda, it's like, you would fight, but you're not fighting all that often. So having it be a bit more simple and revolving around tools bits. This game, I think the arrow fusing, I mean, technically the weapon fusing, I don't think that really changes combat that much. It changes the RPG kind of like inventory reward management type of stuff. There are some cool things you can do with weapon fusion, but it's mostly stat. Like, there's stuff there. There's just a lot more combat. But like, yeah, maybe it could be a little better. I mean, I don't know. I didn't have a huge problem with it. I think the reward cycle could be better too. I really don't care for the gear system in that. Like the armor. I think it'd be a little cooler to have like permanent upgrades, but like cosmetic armor. Maybe there's like defensive stats still, and maybe you do have to make gear for hot and cold weather still, that's fine with me. I like that. But stuff like being able to glide better, being able to not take damage when you hit a fall, electricity resistance, more damage in like cold weather, you know, those should just be upgrades. I mean, it's about the journey, it's about the what you're doing more than it is the reward, but you can have both. The gear system was just fucking sloppy in this. So much shit you couldn't even upgrade. Some of the hardest gear to get in the game isn't even upgradable, like the Phantom Ganon set. Why? It's like I want to look cool, then I have to get one shot by everything. I'm like, that's... They could do better than that. At the very least, there's more than one thing to consider, as the number was also the damage type and the component shape and size to consider. What exactly talking about, man? I lost the contact. Oh, weapon fusion. Yeah, I mean, there's length. There's, you know, what kind of weapon it is. But I would say the majority of what weapon fusion feels like is mostly stat play. I mean, I think you still make a lot of the same decisions on weapons. Like, do I want to use a spear? Do I want to use a boomerang? Do I want to use, you know, the magic? Do I want to use a heavy sword? Depending on the fight, just like you would in the first game. I don't think weapon fusion changes it that much. It does change the back end. It does make durability more fun. It does add like a kind of cool management thing. But I don't think it's enough to give it like 200 hours of legs. The bow stuff's a little bit more interesting, you know, you're and throwing stuff, right? You know, you can charm enemies, you can blind enemies, you can put out gas clouds, you know, you can shoot elements really easily on the fly, and you can make micro interesting decisions, where with the weapons it's like you can do some stuff. And I'm not saying it's not good, and I'm just saying it's not like 200 hours good. Blunt weapon, yeah, but you could also just shoot them with a bomb. There's options. I think that element's good, but like I just don't think it's amazing. My problem is less the combat. I was just kind of chit-chatting about it. Sure, I think they could change it up. I think the sage powers would have been a great way to do it. That would have been a great way to mix up the combat. Let you do all those powers just on the fly. But it's such a pain, you would never do it. So, but yeah. I definitely have more of an issue with content density and content quality. Well, quality. Significance, I don't know the word for it, because the quality is good, it's just not, they just don't really go hard enough for me. It's still focused on very micro content, right? And they adhere to the Breath of the Wild formula almost to a fault. Even like the way the story's told the same way with the Zelda memories and shit. It's still Korok's given inventory, it's still... You know, it's still micro shrines, it's still the same map, it's still, you know, the same kind of essentially durability and stuff. There's like points where it's like, you know, it doesn't even need to be like as similar as it is, but it is. And that's, if you play a lot of Breath of the Wild, which I did, it's not the best feel, for sure.
I must wait a moment.
I mean, they should have known better. They had contextual buttons for the original sages, the champion. I mean, we literally on stream made up more ways to activate the sage abilities on the fly in 5 seconds than they had in game. And I'm not saying my options were the best. It was just that easy to make something up, right? Like, shield and then crouch, or crouch and then shield. You get the water one, right? L1, R1, you summon like a fucking, you know, back on a cooldown, and that's kind of strong, and you get to do fun stuff, and you can like give it a loadout and stuff, right? Like, just stuff like that. It's just like, press B twice, and you shoot a gust of wind out. Like, it's not like fucking rocket science. Game's been doing it for fucking ever, man. They did it in the last game. It's just bizarre. Because that would have been a fun little thing to have. I don't think it's the most detrimental. Jesus, I just got insta-killed, dude. I don't think it's the most detrimental thing in the game, but I think it's one of the most sloppily implemented for sure. Yeah, I mean, when you're in midair, there's a contextual option to, you know, shoot a wind gust. It's a little too slow. You can't use it over short jumps, and you can't use it when you're sliding on your shield very well, but I mean, it is there. Yeah, it's just like, what was the 6 years for? Like, I mean, some of that is just like gimme shit, man. Like, it's like goofy that it's not even a thing. Just stuff like that. Like, why is amiibo gear still not... You can't even upgrade the Darkling shit. Like, you know, there's just like little stuff. They're not a big deal in the long run, but they all add up to kind of make this like kind of sloppy fucking like deal. Okay, I gotta turn on the Tribeca thing soon. I'll have to restart the stream when it gets on. You returned. We're about to do some news shit.
We're separated. My friends were cut down.
Yeah, in about 7 minutes.
I won't last on my own.
Just wait a moment.
I can't take any more.
I'm not ready yet.
There's all sorts of options, yeah. Yeah, you can press, you could do ready the bow, press right stick in. You don't need to be able to aim the bow and then open out your telescope. You could get rid of the telescope part when you have the bow open.
I'm not ready yet.
There's all sorts of shit. Like, I mean, there's just a bazillion things. Maybe they wanted something like really universal, like it's all on the D-pad. They must really underestimate the average fucking brain capacity of somebody. You could at least have it as like a fucking option, man. I just don't see the way they implemented it in any world being like the best option. Like, there's no compromise, right? Oh, she's dead. Good. Give me your loot. Your fucking loot, lady. I mean, ZL and D-pad is a little goofy, but like, I mean, yeah, you could, right? I mean, you don't want any hand contortionism, but like, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of stuff. Imagine how cool it would be to turn in the middle of the fight, shoot a Goron out, turn, somebody's like on fire and you like shoot wind at him and he's not on fire, you blow him away, whip out the mech for like a 10-second super thing for a little bit. I mean, that'd be cool. You could still use fusion, you could still use your bow stuff, but like everything would at least be, you'd at least have enough power level through your abilities that you wouldn't just resort to almost always just doing super bow fusing like Jesus attacks, right? Like, yeah, if I could just use all the different powers of the sages, it'd probably be pretty strong. But like, hey man, I can already break the game without even thinking about it, right? The adventure's a big one. They're fun, man. I'm enjoying it. I'm kind of taking it in a just kind of as it comes vibe. Instead of trying to like walk into every single corner, I'm kind of just hitting up. Like just kind of, I'm just doing a quest and then I'm doing main story and I'm just rolling around. It's good. That's just chilling. That's fun.
wait a moment.
We're about to take a little break though.
I must wait a moment.
Game's got good atmosphere. I like the animations and the sound effects and stuff, so the abilities feel pretty good. It's been fun just running around doing shit. Let me go get this waypoint and then I'll take a little break. I'm sure, I don't know, we'll see if she's the final boss or not. Wouldn't be surprised. She definitely has a Kerrigan feel, doesn't she? Even down to the I'm evil but I don't seem that evil kind of vibe there. Alright. Okay folks, I am going to restart the stream real quick. The Tribeca game spotlight's gonna start in about 2 minutes. So let me get that all set up and then I'm just gonna turn it on and off real quick. Okay. Special events.